No. Why? Because he likes you.
Guys, it's Lost in Plot, and we are here with the Disney Plus live-action remake of Pinocchio.
Wow. I knew going in, I expected this would be probably bad, but I had no idea it would be this awful. Everyone knows the story of Pinocchio, so we're not going to waste time about what this is about, the puppet that wants to be a real boy. We all know that. So what is this nightmarish live adaptation that we've been given by Robert Zemeckis?
It's blackmail material is what it is. You all, by virtue of watching this and knowing it exists, have blackmail material on every actor and actress in the movie, as well as Robert Zemeckis, because it is so bad and so shamefully bad that it is an embarrassment of astonishing proportion.
I felt like Robert Zemeckis secretly hates Tom Hanks and was just trying to just bury his career. And he might have done it with this, because his performance as Geppetto is horrendously bad. It's god-awful. They could not bury this thing deep enough on Disney Plus to hide it from the world and not give it a theatrical release. Oh, God.
This has got to be his worst performance of Tom Hanks' career.
Yeah.
And he carries like the entire first act of the movie. Through most of it, you just see him like stoop around. This is such a terrible performance among a host of terrible performances in the entire movie. It is, like I said, it's a total embarrassment.
And it's supposed to be like a shot-for-shot recreation of the animated film, right? But just done live action. And it just comes off every bit as just this soulless, and this is a grotesque film. Grotesque film.
It is.
It's a soulless, terrible film with none of the emotion or charm of the original, if you're a fan of that one. This is just like a soulless carcass that's been heaped out for us to watch.
I mean, if anything, you should watch it just to see how bad it really is.
Oh,
because
God.
It almost defies belief. You'd say, no. With these names and this story, there's no way it could possibly be that bad. It is. And it's so much worse than that. It will stun you with its awfulness.
Yeah.
Actively stun you.
Let's talk about some of the top ones. Now, first is Jiminy Cricket.
Oh.
Who I had no idea who was voicing this character, but after the very first couple lines that Jiminy Cricket speaks, I said, no.
And I'm here to tell you one humdinger of a tale. It's a story that begins a long time ago. Well, actually, it's a story that begins once upon a time, a long time ago. That's right, much better, much more precise.
That's not it. That's the wrong casting there. That's not it. Turns out it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt who is voicing Jiminy Cricket and doing just a horrendous job. Oh, that's terrible. We've also invented new woke characters because we need to make this a woke Pinocchio.
When you wish upon a star.
Oh,
diversity.
You're going to start there?
Diversity will descend down from the heavens. Representation and inclusion will come into your house and scare the shit out of you.
As the Blue Fairy. The Blue Fairy. I don't know the woman's name. The way they made her up to look, she's just horrifying to look at. This is supposed to be the beautiful Blue Fairy that comes in and makes Pinocchio live. And instead, it's like this troll-looking getup that comes at a blue light and comes like right at you on the screen.
Oh, it's shocking. And it was obviously, it's stunt diversity casting, which means there's really no actual reason to be doing this other than it's a total stunt, right? You're trying to shock people and bait them into some kind of reaction because everybody has in their mind what this picture of the Blue Fairy has been traditionally and what she represents, and you're just going to completely sully it and change it. Just because it's a stunt and you want to get people's attention on it. So, yeah. Cheap ploy.
Let's talk about the other one that's completely fabricated. And I forgot her name. It's like Sabine? I don't know if it's
the made-up character.
The puppet or the woman behind it with like the peg leg.
She's handy-capable. She's a
puppeteer with like a weird prosthetic leg thing that she even spins around on one of the most creepiest scenes. It's like it came from The Exorcist or something. She's dancing in a room on her one fake leg. It's like, oh God! So much of this is just nightmarish.
They were ticking the diversity box to give us food for our nightmares. And they succeeded. Like the original Pinocchio, obviously doesn't have this character. This character is created of whole cloth and is a joke. It is a total Hollywood cliche bullshit so she can have her own musical number and Pinocchio can have this worthless, total garbage ally that does nothing for the story.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the purpose was. She represents maybe family or his need for family. I don't know what, other than, they just had to stick in another diversity character, and that's what they've done here.
Yeah, we didn't have a woman. She needs to be handicapped. We need to give her a musical number, and we need a girl puppet along to go with the boy puppet.
And then we get to Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island, which looks like this garish theme park ride from hell with giant smoke creatures that, take care of all the donkey children. Were the smoke creatures? Like, where did that... That wasn't in the original, right?
No, it was not.
God. Just horrendous.
You may notice a other Disney live-action veteran in... what's his name now? Luke Evans?
Yeah.
Who played Gaston in the hideous and disgusting Beauty and the Beast live-action remake.
That one.
He actually has a cameo here in Pinocchio. To his credit, he's easily the best performer in the entire film. He somehow manages to display his talent in this kind of heinous role where he's driving the coach with all these children and getting Pleasure Island, and he's got a memorable musical number. He's at least serviceable, and you can see he's talented, but he's the only one who spares himself any type of indignity, at least to a certain extent.
He's basically Satan, right? Because they paint him up to look like that when he's offering all the kids their root beer and they get to Pleasure Island.
Right. Drink your root beer. Wow. They were passing that root beer around the set.
Wow. So this is a disaster. It's like the pinnacle of woke Disney. I think we'll look at this as like maybe the shining example. I don't want to speak too soon in case something else comes out that tops it, or there's something else that already has that I haven't thought of.
Anything will top this.
But maybe 10 years from now or 20 years from now, we'll look back at this period for Disney as like the woke disaster area. And we talked about a cultural low last time. We were talking about the Rings of Power on Amazon and how that really represented a cultural low.
This fits right in nicely.
Another one has
pretty
been
nicely here.
Birthed out right next to it. Another monstrosity to sit right on the table next to that one. Here it is, Pinocchio from Robert Zemeckis. Whoa.
And it would have been worth it if I could have been on the set. The day where they filmed the scene where Tom Hanks, dressed in his Geppetto garb, has to lay across this boat where Pinocchio has rescued him from Monstro the whale. And then, for no reason, his little legs go like propellers on a boat, and he speedboats Geppetto in from the giant whale. And you have to look at Tom Hanks' beleaguered face as he's lying on the boat. If I could have been on set on that day, the humorous quality of that would have been...
What about the day for the opening scene? The opening scene is like 15 minutes in Geppetto's shop of just horrible Tom Hanks acting. Again, acting with no other living being in the room with him. Is that like a requirement of his now? Like everything he does is acting with made-up green screen characters or some bullshit that no one can see.
He just walks around mumbling.
Talking to himself.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, this film's terrible. This film can get nothing else besides a 1 out of 10.
You knew it was terrible, though. We're telling you it's even worse than that. Even worse than that.
It's worse than you can imagine. It's worse than their most storied fever dreams. It will top them all. That's it. That's Pinocchio for me.
Yeah, it's dead for both of us. Both of us have it at a 1 out of 10. This will haunt your nightmares and be the pinnacle of woke Disney when we look back at this chapter in the company's storied history.
There it is, guys. Consider this your next challenge, the Pinocchio challenge, to go and actually watch this abomination on Disney+. Then come back and leave your comments in the section down below. Like and subscribe. Check us out on Twitter. We'll see you all on the next one.